Hey, Tom, can you hear me?
I can. You got me?
Hold on. Hey, can you hear me? Can you call courtroom 2? There's a couple of the folks that you need to talk to. They're here.
Right. Got it.
All right.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you all are doing well this morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning, Miss Falk. Morning, Miss Greenhouse.
PD Haddad, I did send you the response to your earlier email.
All right, great. Thank you. And I'm about to email you on position number 17 in a second, okay?
17.
1717. I assume that's your case, Jamel?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I'll email you right now.
Okay, thank you.
And courtroom 2, whenever you all are ready, just let me know.
Would I still have to make a bond even though I was actually like November, I believe. They were for
Slide down, slide down, slide down.
Don't. No. Don't. Yeah, what I was gonna do, I was gonna have them to clean up the camera over the courtroom. That's to clean the cameras.
Good morning, Your Honor. You're muted.
Thank you. Good morning. Where would you all like to start this morning?
Can we do the com Zachary?
Yes.
Your Honor, if we can do position number 52.
Okay. And good morning, Mr. Dodd. What are we doing with Mr. Zachary this morning?
Your Honor, that's going to be a plea this morning, Judge.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Zachary. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video, sir. Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, sir. You can place your hand down. Good morning, Ms. Falk and Ms. Desiano. Whose case is this?
Good morning, Judge. This is my case.
Okay.
State's recommendation for count 1, the theft by taking, is 12 months served, 62 days, credit for time served 31 days from November 11th to November 24th, 2024, and then November 25th, 2024 to today, balance probated. No further contact with Itzel Mendoza Hernandez. Stay away from 1325 Virginia Avenue in Atlanta. Complete an anti-theft course and 40 hours of community service. And count 2, the criminal trespass, 12 months probation to run concurrent with count 1 We ask the defense to stipulate to venue factual basis and ID for purposes of the plea. And if Your Honor can sound for Ms. Mendoza Hernandez.
Mendoza Hernandez is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Doesn't appear so. Mr. Haddad?
Your Honor, we stipulate for purpose of the plea, Judge.
Okay.
Hey, Mr. Zachary, it's my understanding that in case 24 CR 007602D, you wish to plead guilty to theft by taking and criminal trespass. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Zachary. When you complete the terms of the probation, I'll have it terminate. So the sooner you get this done, the sooner you're not going to be on probation, okay?
Thank you, Judge.
All right, good luck to you, sir.
Judge, do you mind if I ask Ms. Desiano the time again, please? Because it's not on the recommendations.
Okay.
Yes, it's, I don't know why I put it this way, but I put November 11th to November 24th, 2024, and then November 25th, 2024 to today. I'm not sure if he was released or I just wrote that down wrong.
So what's the time, what's the days is what?
The days are November 11th to November 24th.
No, the credit for time.
Oh, I'm sorry, 31 days.
Thank you.
Okay, who do we have next?
We go to position number 43, Mr. Thomas. This way, Thomas. Go ahead.
Also a negotiated plea?
Yes, Judge, it is.
Good morning, Mr. Thomas. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're
Yep.
conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, sir? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Sir.
Okay, you can place your hand down. Thank you, Mr. Thomas. Yes, Ms. Desiano.
Yes, Your Honor, the state's recommendation for count one is 12 months to serve 32 days, credit for time served 16 days from December 2nd, 2024 to today, balance suspended, stay away from Clark Atlanta University campus. The state won or null pros for count two. Count three is the same as count one, 12 months served 32 days, credit for time served 16 days, balance suspended, stay away from the Clark Atlanta University campus. We'd ask the defense to stipulate to venue factual basis and ID for purposes of the plea, nothing further.
We stipulate, Judge.
Mr. Thomas, it's my understanding that in case 24 CR 007918J, you wish to plead guilty to loitering and prowling and criminal trespass. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Thomas. Good luck to you, sir.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Good morning, Judge Morrow. Hope you're doing
Good
well.
I am, Francois. I hope you are as well, too.
Thank you. This is going to be position number 14, Ms. Carter.
Okay. And this is also going to be a negotiated plea.
Yes, Judge, let me just double check. Yes,
Okay.
we're ready for a plea, and it's gonna be 8 hours of anger management this fall.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Good morning, Ms. Carter. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you mind raising your right hand for me, please? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Speak up a little bit for me. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Yes, Ms. Falk.
Yes, Your Honor, the state's recommendation is 12 months served 44 days, credit for time served 22 days. That's going to be from November 26th, 2024 until today. balance probated, 8 weeks of anger management, stay away from Emory University Hospital located at 550 Peachtree Street Northeast unless for medical treatment, and no further contact with Andrea Sylvan. We do ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification for the purposes of the plea. We do sound for Andrea Sylvan if she would like to speak at this time. That's all for the state.
Ms. Sylvan is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Doesn't appear so. Mr. Haddad?
We stipulate for purpose of the plea, Judge, and
Okay. Ms. Carter, it's my understanding that in case 24 CR 007827G, you wish to plead guilty to simple battery. Is that correct? Okay, you're gonna have to get closer to the mic or speak up for me because we can't hear you.
Yes,
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
no,
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
yes,
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
yes,
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
no,
I'll accept the plea as negotiated. Ms. Carter, when you complete the terms of the probation, it'll go to a non-reporting status. So as soon as you get it done, the sooner you won't have to report to probation and pay the fees, okay?
okay.
All right, good luck to you, ma'am.
Next, we can go to position number 18, Mr. Hester.
Also a negotiated plea.
Your Honor, I think that's Mr. White's case.
In
Good
which
morning,
case
Mr.
number
Wright.
was sounded, Your Honor? I didn't hear it.
This is Hester, position 18.
Okay, thank you.
That's correct. I hadn't heard the position either. He is mine, and that is a negotiated plea, Judge.
Okay, very good. Good morning, Mr. White.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Hester.
Morning.
Good morning, sir. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, sir? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can place your hand down. Thank you, Mr. Hester. Ms. Falk?
Yes, Your Honor. This is a time served plea, 30 days, credit for time served, 15 days. That's from December 2nd, 2024 until today. That's all for the state. And we do ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification for the purposes of the plea.
We stipulate for the purpose of plea, Judge, nothing further.
Okay, Mr. Hester, it's my understanding that in case 24 CR 007911Y, you wish to plead guilty to willful obstruction of law enforcement officers. Is that correct?
Okay.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury? Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Hester. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Welcome. Who do we have next?
This is number 19, Jackson.
Your Honor, I will need to, I apologize, I need to speak to Mr. Jackson on the phone, just to update him on the recommendation from the states.
Okay, so if we can facilitate that, Francois?
Yes, we can give you a call in courtroom 2.
Oh, great, thank you. And if we can do one of Mr. White's.
Mr. White's case.
If you want to do the call.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
We can go to position number 8, Mr. Brooks.
This is position 8. I have a negotiated plea, is that right?
That's correct, Judge.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Brooks. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, sir? Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Okay, thank you, sir. Yes, Ms. Fall.
Yes, Your Honor. The state's recommendation is 12 months served 2 days, credit for time served 1 day. That is from August 5th to August 6th, 2024. Balance suspended. Stay away from East Point Package Store located at 1805 Washington Road in East Point. PD White, is the defendant also agreeing to the add-on case?
He is.
Okay. The add-on case, Your Honor, is 24 CR 007904G, the charge of public drunk. The state's recommendation is time served 30 days, credit for time served 15 days from December 3rd, 2024 until today. We do ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification as to both cases. That's all for the state.
We do stipulate, Your Honor, and have nothing further.
Okay. Mr. Brooks, it's my understanding that in case 24 CR 005485G, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass, and in case 24 CR 007904G, you wish to plead guilty to public drunk. Is that correct?
Yes,
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
no,
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Fastest will be.
yes, I'm satisfied with Mr. White.
But that's up to the jury.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
That's been the two of us.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, you don't.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated. Mr. White, is there any necessity for a social worker visit to assist Mr. Brooks in any manner, or has that been done?
Judge, I didn't really pick up on anything specific. So,
Okay, I just want to make sure that if he has difficulty with housing, that he's provided some information on that.
there should be a social worker coming to court this morning. Have them see.
Okay, if you wouldn't mind doing that for the court, I'd appreciate it.
Absolutely, Judge.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Brooks.
We can go to position number 29, or if ACDC is ready with one.
Okay, who do we have at ACDC?
This is position number 21, Jordan.
Okay,
This would be Mr. Haddad's case, so if he's still speaking with the other person, maybe we should do 20.
Okay,
All right.
that's fine.
so who do we have in courtroom 2?
Position 29, Roy.
Is this your case, Mr. White?
It is, Judge.
Okay. And position 29 is also going to be a negotiated plea.
It is.
Good morning, Mr. Roy. I am Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, sir? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Okay, you can place your hand down, Mr. Roy. Thank you. Ms. Desiano?
Yes, Your Honor, the state's recommendation is 12 months served, 120 days, credit for time served 16 days from December 2nd, 2024 to today. Balance probated, complete an anti-theft course, 40 hours of community service, and no firearms. We'd ask defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and ID for purposes of the plea.
Judge, we do stipulate, we just ask that the probation terminate once he completes his requirements. I did inform him that he will have another 44 days to do, and he decided to accept the plea.
I take it that it's the history that
Yeah. Yes, Your Honor, he's on probation for 2 cases of entering auto, 24 SC 002375 and 22 SC 185029. And in this case, Your Honor, he was out in the middle of the night pulling on vehicle handles in various areas. So we would object to probation terminating just based on the facts.
Okay. Mr. Roy, it's my understanding that in case 24 CR 007917A, you wish to plead guilty to loitering and prowling. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning? You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation? You have to speak up for a little bit for me, Mr. Roy. You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
Yes, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Roy. When you complete the terms of the probation, I'll have it go to a non-reporting status. So the sooner you get it done, the sooner you won't be on reporting probation and have to pay those fees, okay? All right, good luck to you, Mr. Roy.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Going back to position number 19, Jackson.
And what are we doing with Mr. Jackson?
Your Honor, we're ready for a plea.
Okay. Good morning again, Mr. Jackson. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, sir? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir, Judge Morrow.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jackson. You can put your hand down. Yes, Ms. Falk.
Yes, Your Honor, the state is actually not ready for a plea on this. As we have a hold for announcement. We do have the add-on case on here, but we had not sent the recommendation on the initial case. And I'm looking at the notes right now. So if I can just take a moment to look at the notes and send an update PD Haddad.
Okay, so Mr. Haddad, you did not have a recommendation when you talked to Mr. Jackson?
Your Honor,
Obviously.
Yes and no. So he has a second case that he's technically out on bond. We're not resolving that case, Judge. He's out. The first case, and I apologize, I just, Ms. Falk her and I did exchange communications yesterday. And I just assumed, because it was on a previous SAP judge, that the recommendation is going to be the same. I think they were trying to reach out to the alleged victim. So
and in my previous email, I said I want to make sure that I speak with the victim before proceeding. And so we now have information back from the victim. So I am able to respond, but I just need a moment to look at the notes.
Is it going to be a different recommendation, Ms. Falk, than previous?
It may be based on the notes. That's why I need a chance to look at the notes.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'll give you that opportunity.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
So, case if the court wishes.
Well, let's just give Ms. Falk a moment so that if it's the same recommendation, then we can proceed. If not, then we will have you take another look at it, Mr. Haddad.
Thank you, Judge.
And Your Honor, I have the second half of the calendar from position 28 to the end, if we can take up any matters that are my cases. Give Ms. Falk a moment.
Okay. If there's anyone in courtroom 2 that's ready to go, that's one of Ms. Desiano's cases, we can take that up now.
Then go to position number, what was her numbers again, Ms. Desiano? Which cases you have?
28 through the end of the calendar.
Okay. Position number 40, Mr. Stevens.
Okay, so I've got down that this is going to be a bond hearing, so are you going to file a waiver, is this your case, Mr. Haddad?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Stevens. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we are conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. You can place your hand down. Can someone tell me what the current bond is?
Your Honor, it's currently a $7,000 surety bond, $5,000 on the battery, family violence, and $1,000 on each of the criminal trespasses. No further contact with the victim, Janisha Pruitt. Stay away from 2980 Middleton Road. No weapons, drugs, or alcohol. And that was entered by Judge Law on December 4th.
Okay. Who do we have? Ms. Washington, good morning. Can you give me the history, please?
Yes, Your Honor, there are 4 arrest cycles, including this arrest. There was a 2024 felony conviction for aggravated assault, and the defendant is currently serving 4 years on probation for that case. And prior to that, there were some probation violations, felony probation violations. And the defendant appeared to be on first offender for aggravated assault, criminal attempt, 2 counts of aggravated assault, and 2 counts of criminal attempt and possession of tools out of Fulton County, and that was from 2016. Nothing further.
Ms. Tessiano?
Your Honor, so the 2016 conviction, 16 SC 141781, the defendant was sentenced under first offender for home invasion, attempted armed robbery, the 2 counts of aggravated assault. He was sentenced to 10 years, 1 to serve, 9 on probation. He was required to have no further contact with the victims, complete his GED, complete a program called the Visions Unlimited program. So he's under sentence for that as well. He's had 2 probation revocations in that case. There was one in 2019 where he was revoked for 2 months for because he was not showing up to probation. He did not complete his GED and he did not complete the Visions Unlimited program. So essentially he wasn't following through with any of the few obligations that he had on that sentence. The second probation violation was from this year, Your Honor, because the defendant was arrested again for aggravated assault, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, and possession of the firearm of a first offender probationer. He pled guilty to that on November 15th, 2024. He was sentenced to 5 years probation for that, and essentially got time served on the jail portion. The facts in that case, Your Honor, were he shot his brother-in-law in front of his 3 children, in front of the brother-in-law's 3 children, so his nieces and nephews. He pled to that on November 15th of 2024. The incident before you today happened about 3 weeks after he pled guilty to that aggravated assault. This happened on December 3rd. Officers responded about 7 p.m. to 2980 Middleton Road. The victim in this case is Janisha Pruitt. She's been in a relationship with the defendant for some time, and they live together. She called police and stated that the defendant assaulted her following an argument over a text message. Apparently, the defendant accessed her cell phone while she was at work and read some messages. There was an argument that took place before the victim coming home from work. She was reportedly telling the defendant to leave the location before she got home in order to de-escalate the situation. She gets home about 6 p.m. The defendant is irate, punching holes in the walls, breaking doors at the location. He grabs her phone and breaks it, and then slams a door on her head. The police went up to the apartment to make contact with the defendant after they spoke with the victim. The defendant answered the door. He had blood on his hoodie, which corroborated what the victim had just told police. He was refusing to cooperate, but he did say, whatever she said, I did it. And so at that point, he was detained. And the concern here is that after the defendant was detained, the victim then attempted to recant essentially everything that she had just told police. She told police that she didn't want the defendant to go to jail because he had just been released. She didn't want to ruin his life. The warrant states the defendant also smelled of alcohol as well. So we have a situation where we have a victim who lives with the defendant. She's given a very detailed statement to police. She was assaulted just days after he was sentenced for shooting another family member. She's recanted on scene. She filed a statement in the record in this case yesterday, saying that she wants the case dismissed, that she's not afraid of the defendant, that she wants him to come home and come back to the residence. She's now saying the altercation was entirely her fault. She did not know. She's saying the defendant did not know she was there when he slammed the door, hitting her face, and that she pushed him first. So she came up to the solicitor's office yesterday and made that statement. She spoke to one victim advocate there. She spoke with another victim advocate over the phone yesterday, the advocate that's over this calendar, and said something different, just essentially said nothing, absolutely nothing happened. There was never an altercation. She wants the case dismissed. So when we have cases like this where we have a victim who's recanting, it certainly comes down to the evidence, Your Honor. I reviewed the body cams yesterday. She was certainly in crisis and called injured. She was bleeding. She was scared, very upset when she spoke to police. And when she realized the defendant was going to be arrested, she did not care so much for her safety and cared more about the defendant getting in trouble. So this is, of course, a common pattern that happens in domestic violence. The risk to reoffend here is high. The risk to intimidate is especially high in this case. And the concern is that if the court orders contact at this point, that the victim will not call the police if the defendant assaults her again, given the lengths that she's gone to kind of try to unsay what's been said. And also there's body cam footage of the defendant in the back of the patrol car saying things like, you know, y'all have to do what the victim says, and I know how this law works, and you got to let me go. So there's concerns here with the conflicting statements. And so given all of that, Your Honor, we'd ask the bond remain as it's currently set with no contact with Ms. Pruitt and stay away from 2980 Middleton Road, and keep the surety bond as it's currently set as well. Thank you.
Ms. Pruitt, see if you would like to address the court, I'll give you that opportunity. But I'm going to make some instructions for you before you do that. So if you want to address me, I'm happy to hear you. Do you want to speak to the court this morning? Okay, you have to unmute yourself.
Yes.
Raise your right hand for me. Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Okay, you can place your hand down, Ms. Pruitt. Let me just tell you that this is different than you going to the solicitor's office and saying what you said to them. You're doing this under oath. You're doing this under oath in front of the solicitors who can prosecute you if they find that you're not telling the truth on this. You do have a right to remain silent, and anything you say can be used against you. You're also on YouTube this morning, so this is being transmitted all throughout the world. Okay. So whatever you tell me better be what actually happened in this regard. Do you understand me?
Yes.
Okay. What do you want to tell the court?
I don't get off of work at 2. It happened when I was at home, and it was my phone, but it was already broke. He just threw it. The only thing is that we was already arguing, and I was pushing him or whatever, so he was leaving, and he shut the door. So when I called the police, I told them that he broke stuff, but he did break his TV. He broke his TV, but it was his. He never broke a door.
Okay. Well, why did you call the police?
Because I had a gash on my head from the door. Because he like shut the door, and like the door like hit my head a little.
Okay. Do you have any other injuries?
No.
And you called the police because he shut the door on your head.
Yes. I told them this. I kept telling them this. Like I told them there was no reason for them to talk to him in all this. I told them like I just want to see an ambulance, and I didn't even see an ambulance.
Okay, well, there's a difference between calling an ambulance and calling the police. You called the police because you needed some type of intervention from the police. Is that right?
No, I called the police and told them that I needed an ambulance. They told me what address I was in, and the police came first.
Okay, and once the police got there, what did you tell them?
That me and my boyfriend got into an argument, and he was upset and breaking things.
Right. Appreciate you being here this morning, Ms. Pruitt. Yes, Mr. Dodd.
Honor, on behalf of my client, he is 27 years of age, works landscaping with his uncle. He's born and raised here in Atlanta. Gone through the 11th grade, Judge. He's got a $7,000 bond. We're just asking for a $2,000 total bond. The parties have been together for approximately 5 years. If the court imposes a stay away, that my client will abide by that. He's got family here, can live with them as well, Judge. But I'm just trying to get his bond lowered. He is clearly indigent and is unable to postpone. So that would be the request from the defense, Judge.
All right. I haven't seen that anything has changed from when the previous judge set the bond. Given his history, I'm not willing to change those terms at the present time. Good luck to you, Mr. Stevens. Okay. Oh, yes, go ahead, Mr. Dodd.
I will need to talk to Mr. Jackson. The recommendation was different than what I expected, and I just wanted to discuss with him the possibility of a non-negotiated plea, Judge.
Okay, of course. So if we can make that happen again, Francois?
I'm sorry, Judge. I had stepped away and I'm just now returning back.
Mr. Dodd needs to speak with this gentleman again.
Okay.
Okay, so while we're doing that, can we take some of Mr. White's cases?
Yes, we can go to position number 1 and 2, Mr. Allen. Adam.
And have you had the opportunity to speak with him, Mr. White?
I have, Your Honor. It's a negotiated plea.
All right, very good. Good morning, Mr. Allen. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, sir? Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can place your hand down. Thank you. Yes, Ms. Falk.
Yes, Your Honor. For Barry Allen, the state's recommendation is time served 22 days, credit for time served 11 days from December 7th, 2024 until today. State will be entering a null pros to position to the FTA upon the acceptance of this plea. The state does ask the defense to stipulate to venue factual basis and identification for the purposes of the plea. That is all for the state.
We so stipulate, Judge. Nothing further.
Thank you. Mr. Allen, it's my understanding that in case 22 CR 004469C, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass. Is that right?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, I am.
Do you understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
All right, I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Allen. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Chair in the back. Next, we can go to position number 15 and 16, Mr. Isaiah Ferreira.
That's mine also, Your Honor. I have spoken with him, and that is a negotiated plea.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Ferreira. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, sir? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? You have to speak up for me, Mr. Ferreira.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Ms. Falk.
Yes, Your Honor. Count 1, the criminal trespass. State's recommendation is 12 months served, 22 days, credit for time served 11 days from 4/28 to 5/1/2024 and December 9th, 2024 until today. Balance suspended, stay away from Exxon located at 1105 Holcomb Bridge Road in Roswell. Count 2, 12 months concurrent with count 1 and 8 weeks of anger management. Position number 16, the FTA, the state will be null prosing upon the acceptance of this plea. We do ask the defense to stipulate to venue factual basis and identification for the purposes of this plea. That's all for the state.
Your Honor, we do stipulate for the purposes of the plea. We just ask that his probation go to terminate or go to non-reporting upon completion of his anger management.
State doesn't object to non-reporting.
Do you know if he's in need of a social worker visit, Mr. White? To
Judge,
assist?
I don't, but as with the last one, when our social worker gets here, we can.
Okay. If you'll do that for the court, I'd appreciate it. Mr. Ferreira, it's my understanding that in case 24 CR 002851Y, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass and simple battery against a police officer. Is that correct? Okay, you guys speak up for me, sir.
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at the present time?
No.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Ferreira. When you complete the terms, it'll go to a non-reporting status. So the sooner you get it done, the sooner you won't be on probation, reporting probation, okay?
Yes.
All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Stay in the third row.
Thank you, Judge.
Row. Third row.
Okay,
Judge,
so
we're
this,
ready for position 19.
okay, and have we made a determination, Mr. Dodd?
Yes, Your Honor, we're gonna do a non-negotiated plea with the court.
Okay. And I'm sorry, Mr. Jackson, don't remember whether I swore you in or not, so let me just go ahead and swear you in again, if I did already. If you can raise your right hand for me. Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Jackson. You place your hand down. Let's see, may I get his criminal history, Ms. Washington?
Yes, Your Honor, there are 14 arrest cycles, including this arrest. The last arrest appeared to be September 25th of this year for giving false name with Marietta. No disposition was listed. There was an FTA from June of this year. Also, there appears to be an arrest from June of this year for battery family violence with Union City. No disposition is listed, as well as a theft by shoplifting for March of this year with no disposition listed. Also, there is what appears to be an open battery family violence case and simple battery family violence case from April of this year. Also, there is first offender treatment, it appears, from February 28th of this year for carrying a weapon in a school safety zone, simple battery against a public school system employee, and simple assault. And it appears that that was 3 years of probation and is currently still on probation for that. Also, there was an arrest in 2021 for battery, aggravated assault, and theft by taking in Fulton County that appeared to be dismissed. There was an arrest in October of 2020 in Clayton County for battery, and no disposition was listed. In 2021, there was a misdemeanor conviction for battery and 2 counts of battery, and that was out of Clayton County. And nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Falk, thank you.
So, Your Honor, just to give some context to some of these cases that the pretrial services just put on the record, the battery and the family violence battery that was pled as battery, the defendant entered a guilty plea to battery and simple battery family violence. That was entered on, let's see the date right here, that was entered before Judge Morrison on September 13th of 2023. The defendant received 143 days to serve on that case, 12 months serve 143 days with a stay away from Kira Shaw and Nightingale Shaw, no weapons, and probation became non-reporting upon the completion of all the conditions. The plea after that under 23 23 SC 191007, the first offender plea. That was to carrying weapons within a school safety zone where you receive 4 years, serve 1 year, balance of 3 years to be served on probation. The aggravated assault that the pretrial services referenced was pled down to a simple assault with 12 months to serve, and disrupting public school was pled as 12 months to serve. That was all as an offered plea under first offender. He just recently had his probation revoked on March 14th of, looks like a petition was filed March 14th of 2024 for the defendant failing to pay probation fees, failing to pay victim services fees, and failing to provide a proper sample for court-ordered drug or alcohol testing. As a result of that, the defendant, it looks like, ended up taking a 60-day to serve by consent order on November 1st of 2024. So that was, his probation was revoked on that case, the 23 SC case, for 60 days. In this particular case, Your Honor, the allegations are that the defendant is admitting to is that officers spoke with Miss Angel Jones at 215 Red Top Circle in Fairburn on August 9th, 2024. She stated that she was with the father of her child, Delshawn Jackson, and he punched her in the face with a closed fist, swelling her eye and making her eye unable to open. The officer was able to observe that. What happened was, according to Miss Jones, the defendant asked her to put on her seatbelt, and when she replied she did not feel like doing so, he punched her in the face. We have had an opportunity, and what has changed in this particular case, Your Honor, is apparently we were unable to reach the victim the first time we spoke, which led to the state's recommendation. However, we have spoken to the victim since then. She reported to our victim advocate that she was pregnant at the time of the incident. She is due in another week. She stated this is not the first time the defendant has been violent towards her. She stated they have an open case in Union City where he grabbed her breast so hard that it turned purple, and that the defendant's brother has threatened to help the defendant get out of jail. She also stated she is concerned about having contact with the defendant, and that when he struck her, her face was swollen for 2 weeks and the bruise to her face took 3 months to heal. Quite frankly, if I could have given him more than 180 days, I would have, but he has to complete FVIP, which is the only reason he's doing 180 days and not more. And that was not why the state's recommendation was 180 instead of more than that at this point.
So give me the full recommendation, Ms. Falk.
The full recommendation on this case, Your Honor, is 12 months, serve 180 days. Credit for time served 76 days from October 3rd, 2024 until today. Balance probated family violence intervention program. No further contact with Angel Jones. Stay away from 215 Red Top Circle in Fairburn or anywhere that Miss Jones may reside or be found, and no firearms.
Okay. And this Elon case, that the 495J case, what's the charge there?
That was a public indecency charge where he was alleged to start touching himself in front of a female guard, excuse me.
Oh, okay, thank you. Yes, Mr. Dodd.
Your Honor, on the last case, Judge, there are issues with the state's case, and he's out, and really all we're trying to resolve is the family violence battery. While I understand my client has had prior arrests for family violence battery, he's never actually been convicted. This would be his first conviction, Judge. Ms. Jones, I believe, was on Zoom. I don't know if she wants to address the court, but she has actually come out to the jail not once but twice to see my client. She has, over the course of time, recanted, and I don't know where she falls right now. But my client has been in custody since according to the latest booking, October 3rd. Normally, I mean, he had an SAP calendar in mid-October, Judge. I was not the attorney. I don't know what exactly transpired. Here we are, 2 months later, and he is in custody, unable to make any bond. He's got a $5,000 bond, Judge. He is indigent. He is from the Atlanta area. On a charge like this, Judge, honestly, I mean, he should be looking at time served, and that's what we're asking for. We're trying to get him out before the holidays. He does have, if the stay away is a no-brainer, Judge. That's not really the issue. He indicated he wants to resolve the case. He's willing to do the FFIP, which is a substantial program, Judge. And I would just honestly, Judge, I mean, the state saying that we finally got hold of the victim, I don't know if that's, I mean, Ms. Falk, you may have talked to her today or victim witness advocate, but this is a situation where in almost all cases, we're looking at a time served sentence. And it's not like he's only been in here 2 weeks, Judge. He's been in here since October the 3rd. And I would just ask the court to impose the stay away and the FFIP, but reduce the time already served, Judge, in light of the amount of time that he's done already.
And Your Honor, I will just add that I did omit that the Clayton County case was also a conviction for battery, criminal trespass and battery, where he served 12 months, 120 days, no victim contact, and balance suspended upon payment. So this may be his first family violence battery, but it is not his first instance of violence.
Okay, and you said that there's a case pending in Union City, Ms. Falk. Did I hear that right?
That is according to the information we received from the victim, yes.
Okay. All right, Ms. Jones, I see you on the line. If you would like to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. Of course, you don't have to, but if you do, I'm giving you that opportunity now. You'd have to unmute yourself and activate your camera. Is there? Oh.
I'm actually driving.
Okay, well, if you're driving, then I'm not able to speak with you, Ms. Jones. So, and
Yes,
you don't have we can't. I don't seem to be able to hear her.
She's breaking up, Your Honor, but I do think she is trying to speak.
Ms.
Yes, are
Jones,
you able?
if you're driving a vehicle, I'm not able to speak with you. You're putting people in danger. So you're either gonna have to pull over.
Well, you guys can just proceed. I'm just here to just to listen. I've already
Okay,
spoke.
all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Jones. I appreciate it. And Mrs. Falk, did you say they share a child?
She is expecting, and she is expecting to have the child in a week. I'm not sure if they share a child outside of the child she is expecting.
Your Honor, I do not believe they have any kids, notwithstanding the pregnancy, Judge.
Okay. I'll just tell you, Mr. Dodd, my concern is that while on probation before, he has not done what he is supposed to do. You know, I am very much needing for him to do that family violence intervention program. I'm not going to allow him to be around Ms. Jones. So he's to have no further contact, stay away. I'm going to have him do the family violence intervention program. I will let him out before Christmas, though. I will give him 160 days. 12 months to serve, 160 days, credit for time served, 76 days, balance probated. The family violence intervention program, no further contact, stay away, no weapons, or drugs or alcohol. That would be the court sentence if he takes a plea.
Mr. Jackson, what that is, if my math is correct, you have 4 more days. Your release date should be, Saturday, Judge, or Sundays? I think he's got credit for 76 days, so.
He
Actually,
does, Your Honor.
I apologize. 2 more days, Judge, well, I don't know. It'll be by the end of this week, Mr. Jackson. So you want to resolve the case or no? Yes or no?
Yeah, so I do want to resolve the case, but I do want to mention that I've been incarcerated since September 25th. In regards to this charge right here, it's always been pending. But in regards to the probation violation, I've been incarcerated since September 25th, dealing with this charge. And Angel Jones is the one who bonded me out of Cobb County in order for me to get here to Fulton County and deal with this case. So she currently has my phone, my ID, my bank card, my social security card. And like I said, she bonded me out of Cobb County in order for me to get over here to resolve this case. And quite frankly, me just playing out to the case is to get home and get back to regular routines of things, being supportive to the family that depends on me. Unfortunately, I'm unable to pay bond at this point, but like I said, due to her bonding me out of Cobb County to get over here, and me being, incarcerated since September 25th, I would like to be credited for all of that time that I have been incarcerated. Moving forward, it's a big step for me to even flee out to this case. I really don't want to, honestly.
Okay, all right.
But
Because you told me that, Mr. Jackson, I'm not going to accept a plea from you today. Okay.
Oh,
All right.
no, I'm not saying I'm willing to accept the plea.
No. It appears to me that you're not accepting responsibility, and that the only reason
I am, Your Honor. Like I told my lawyer that I was trying to get from September 25th because I've already been incarcerated on September 25th. I'm fully taking responsibility of the charge 100% without a doubt, because family violence intervention program seems like it could be much needed.
And Your Honor,
me being incarcerated on September 25th, would that count for something? I just was asking that. That's my only thing.
Okay, well, the jail makes the determination as to what they'll accept. The court has no jurisdiction over that.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Jackson, I want to make it clear to you also before you take this plea. You also said you want to get back to how things were before. They're not going to be the same as they were before, because you're not going to have any contact with Ms. Jones. No contact means absolutely no contact. No phone contact, no personal contact, of course, no internet contact, no contact whatsoever. If I find out that you're having contact, the probation is going to be revoked. If I find out that you're violating the probation in any way, it's going to be revoked. If I find out that you're not doing the family violence intervention program, it's going to be revoked. You're going to be on probation for the entire 12 months. And during that time, I'm going to expect that you are going to start family violence intervention immediately and get through that 6-month program. You understand me?
Yes, 100%, Your Honor. And just one thing, as far as the one-time getting my property, is it the way
I'll let you go. I'll give you a one-time police escort to go back and retrieve any belongings that you have. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Anything further, Mr. Dodd?
No, Judge.
All right, Mr. Jackson, it's my understanding that in case 24 CR 006838J, you wish to plead guilty to battery family violence. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, Your
Honor. I'll accept the plea. Mr. Jackson, the court sentence is going to be 12 months to serve, 160 days, credit for time served, 76 days, balance probated, a family violence intervention program, no further contact with Miss Angel Jones, stay away from her residence. You can go back to that residence on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings that you have there. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. I'm going to require that you serve the entire 12 months on probation. And I just I'm letting you know now that if there are any violations of probation, and I'm the judge on this, I'm going to revoke the entire balance if you don't do what you're telling me that you're going to do. You understand me?
Yes, Your Honor. One more question. So when you say probated, that's a 12 month probation. I've already been incarcerated for the time that I've been. Today would be time served, correct?
No, it's not a time served plea, Mr. Jackson. You're gonna have to work that out with Mr. Haddad as to how much more time that you're gonna have to serve. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor. I would just like to speak to him one time.
Okay.
I'll talk to you later.
All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Jackson.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Next, we could do position number 41, Mr. Circuit.
Your Honor, as far as position number 41, I'm dealing with the more difficult cases, get them out of the way. They'll be non-negotiated only as far as the jail portion of the state's offer. We're in agreement with everything else, but that's what I'm asking for, to be heard on the jail portion, Judge.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Pronounce your name for me, sir.
Mr. Circuit.
Good morning, Mr. Circuit. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Sir.
All right, you can place your hand down. Thank you. Ms. Washington, may I get Mr. Circuit's history, please?
Yes, Your Honor. There are 31 arrest cycles in Georgia. The last arrest prior to this was January of this year for a probation violation. In 2017, the defendant did plead no to theft by shoplifting. In 2017, there was an arrest for simple battery, family violence, 3 counts of simple battery, family violence, and aggravated assault out of Atlanta. No disposition was listed. 2016, there was a theft by shoplifting misdemeanor conviction. In 2015, there was an arrest in Forsyth County for violation of a family violence order. There was an arrest in Cumming, Georgia in 2014 for simple battery, family violence, no disposition listed. In 2015, out of Forsyth County, there was a misdemeanor conviction for battery, family violence, first offense, simple battery, and 2 counts of aggravated assault. In 2014, in Forsyth County, there was a misdemeanor conviction for violation of a family violence order. And all other arrests are prior to the last 10 years. There is a 2006 burglary, terroristic threat, and simple battery out of Clayton County. A 2005 misdemeanor conviction for criminal trespass out of Clayton County. And the defendant does also have arrests out of California. There are 8 arrest cycles out of California that occurred prior to 2014. There is one conviction from 2012 for violation of a domestic violence protection order. And that's out of California. And nothing further, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Washington. Yes, Ms. Desiano.
And Your Honor, the arrest that pretrial mentioned in 2015 for 2 counts of aggravated assault, simple battery, and battery out of Forsyth County, we're showing that's a conviction. He was sentenced to 10 years in 2015. So if my math is correct, he should be on probation for that aggravated assault. In addition to the rest of his violent history, Your Honor, the state's recommending 60 days to serve in this case. And frankly, the jail time would have been higher. However, the state did take into consideration that it's been a couple of years, actually probably about 10 years since the defendant's last violent arrest. However, since then, he's had, let's see, in the last 3-4 years, he's arrested on average about 3 to 4 times per year for probation violations, FTAs, shoplifting, several crimes. This case happened on at 999 Peachtree Street, which is a parking garage. The security guard at the location there, his name is Mr. Tiago Marias. He reported to police that the defendant is known to him. He frequently comes to the parking garage. There's MH issues. He usually has a weapon of some sort on him, such as a crowbar or a harpoon-like object. He's told the defendant to get off this property several times. On the incident date, which was about 1:05 a.m. at on November 3rd of this year, he was again at the parking garage. The security guard approached him, asked him to leave, and the defendant rushed him and struck him in the face 2 times, causing redness and bruising to the temple area. The victim reports that he's repeatedly showing up to this location, although he's never been arrested for trespassing at this location. On the incident date, he didn't have a weapon. However, he frequently does have a weapon when he comes. He wants no contact and would like for him to stay away from the location. And the concern here is that he's been told many times by the security guard not to return, and he continues to do so. And so the state's recommendation is 12 months to serve 60 days, credit for time served 15 days from December 3rd, 2024 to today, balance probated, no contact with Tiago Marias, stay away from the parking garage, complete an MHET, and no firearms. In count 2, 12 months probation concurrent with count 1. And Your Honor, in light of this being a blind plea at this point, we'd also ask for a provision that he not be allowed to possess the crowbar or the harpoon-like object either. Nothing further. If you could sound for Mr. Marias.
And before I sound for tell me again, Ms. Desiano, I'm sorry, what did he do to Mr. Marias?
He struck him in the face 2 times and gave him a bruise on his face.
Okay, and was that
after the security guard asked him to leave?
Okay. Mr. Marias is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Mr. Dodd.
On behalf of my client, he is 37 years of age, Judge, has been in custody since November 3rd. Reports to me that he's essentially a day laborer. His main concern is he lives with his mom and takes care of her. She's got some severe health issues. He's from the Atlanta area. I would just ask the court to consider a time served sentence, Judge.
Well, if he's been in custody since November 3rd and today is December 17th, I've got down he's given credit for 15 days.
I apologize. I think the incident date was November 3rd.
Okay.
His arrest date, he's been in since December 3rd.
December 3rd. Okay.
I believe, right? You've been in since December 3rd. I'll double check, Judge.
Your Honor, I just looked. He's been in since December 3rd. The incident happened on November 3rd.
Yeah, he was arrested a month later, Judge.
Okay, and does he have a place to reside?
He
Mr.
does,
Dodd?
Judge. He resides with his mom, Judge, a local Atlanta address.
All right, given his history, Mr. Haddad, I'm gonna accept the state's recommendation on this one. So if you need to discuss that with your client.
Judge, we're ready to proceed with the plea.
Okay. Um,
And we stipulate.
okay, very good. Mr. Stewart, it's my understanding that in case 24 CR 007941Y, you wish to plead guilty to battery and criminal trespass. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at the present time?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Sure.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I will accept the state's recommendation, 12 months to serve 60 days, credit for time served 15 days, balance probated, no further contact with Mr. Moraz, stay away from the 999 Peachtree Street address, mental health evaluation and treatment, no weapons, which includes firearms. What were the other two, Ms. Desiano?
Harpoon, crowbar.
Okay, harpoons and crowbars. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons, again, while out on bond. When you complete the terms, I'll have it go to a non-reporting status. Okay, good luck to you, sir.
Positions 9 and 10, Mr. Milton Brown.
This is a negotiated plea.
Your Honor, it is a plea. We are asking for, it's slightly non-negotiated. We were just asking that it be a time served plea without the probation.
Okay, where is Mr. Brown? I'm sorry.
He's a medical judge.
Oh, okay. All right, good morning, Mr. Brown. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please? The other hand, Mr. Brown. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do, sir.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Brown. You can place your hand down. Yes, Ms. Falk.
Yes, Your Honor. This incident happened at 98 William Holmes Borders Senior Drive. The officers responded to that location and spoke to Rohit Anand, who stated that he was driving towards his apartment. He had had a bag stolen earlier, and he recognized that bag while he was driving past Selena S. Butler Park. He saw the bag sitting in between two individuals. The officers went out to that location. They identified the defendant. He was in possession of the book bag, and some of Mr. Anand's items were located inside of the book bag, such as prescription medicine, chargers, a laptop bag without the laptop, a mouse, jogger pants, and other medical tools. This is Mr. Anand Rami works at a hospital, and so this was his work property that was taken. Milton Brown, just for the court's edification, has 33 cycles. The cycles start going all the way back to, go all the way back to 1989. His most recent convictions have been a 2022 SC 183640 case where he was sentenced in February of 2023 for possession, manufacture, distribution of controlled substance within a drug-free commercial zone. where he received 6 years probation. He is currently still on probation for that offense. He had a probation violation from an aggravated battery conviction, 10 SC 96580. That probation revocation was in 2021. And it was also based on a theft by receiving stolen property conviction, 07 SC 59160. He also has a conviction for, he has a theft by taking arrest in 2020, 2017, an escape conviction where he served 1 year, 2016 aggravated battery where he did 8 years confinement, 7 years probation, and prior to that, possession of cocaine in 2009 where he did 10 serve 1. So the defendant has a pretty lengthy history, which is why the state recommended probation instead of just terminating probation upon the service of his sentence. We also asked for an anti-theft course. Due to the defendant's history, we think that is warranted. So the state's recommendation in full is 12 months served, 42 days, credit for time served 40 days. So he would be released today from February 23rd to February 24th of 2024 and November 8th, 2024 until today. Balance probated in anti-theft course and no further contact with Rohit Anand. We would like to sound for Mr. Rohit Anand at this time, and we do ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification for the purposes of the plea.
Mr. Anand on the line and wishes to address the court. Committee. Doesn't appear so. Mr. White.
Judge, we do stipulate for purposes of the plea. We're just asking that the anti-theft course not be a part of this. He's 52 years old. I'm not sure how much good an anti-theft course is going to do at this point. But on top of that, he is indigent. He barely gets around. He could barely get up the stairs to when I was visiting yesterday at the jail. It's just a hardship. He's already been in jail 40 days. It's equivalent of an 80-day sentence for a theft by receiving charge. And we're just asking that you not impose the anti-theft course for the probation. We have no issue with a no further contact with Mr. Anand. And that's all we have, Judge.
And Your Honor, he's been in jail 40 days because of an FTA on this case and a probation violation on his 22 SC case where he's sitting in there on no bond. So I actually misspoke. He won't be getting out on this. He'll be getting out on this case, but not his probation violation.
Okay.
Does he have a place to reside, Mr. White?
Judge, I am actually, I did not address that with him yesterday, so I do not know.
Okay, so on these cases, that's helpful for me to know, just so I know that if I put him, that he's just not going back out onto the street without any services to help him.
Right.
If that's, if that's something that he requires. And also it would be helpful for just to know that if he's able to, I don't want to set him up for failure. I guess that's what and I understand that would be your concern also. So if he is, if he does not have anywhere to reside, then that might be more of an issue for me because, again, like I said, I don't want to set him up for failure. So just in the future, that would help me. As far as this goes, I'm going to let him start with a clean slate. He's been in for 40 days, and it's my understanding on this charge. So I'll give him balance suspended.
Thank you, Your Honor. And I'll have since the social worker will be in anyway, I'll go ahead and have her speak.
Okay. Mr. Brown, it's my understanding that in case 24 CR 0008658, you wish to plead guilty to theft by receiving stolen property. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
Yes, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
Okay, I'll accept your plea, Mr. Brown. The court sentence is going to be 12 months to serve 42 days, credit for time served 40 days. balance suspended, stay away, or no further contact with Mr. Ronit Anand.
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Brown. And we'll have a social worker visit, Mr. Brown, before he gets out. Who do we have next?
Next, Judge, we have position number 26 and 27, Pop.
And this is going to be a negotiated plea.
It is, Judge, it's my case.
Okay. Yes, good morning, Ms. Pop. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right? Good morning, ma'am. Good morning. Do you swear affirm the testimony? Leave your hand up for me, Ms. Pop. Do you swear? Okay, you're fine. Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Pop. You can place your hand down.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Ms. Falk.
Yes, Your Honor. On position 27, state's recommendation is 12 months served, 30 days, credit for time served 15 days from February 13th to February 14th, 2024, and December 5th, 2024 until today. Balance probated. Stay away from all MARTA stations. No further contact with Sharon Lockaby. 12 weeks of anger management and 40 hours of community service. Position 26 will be null prost upon the acceptance of this plea. We would like to sound for Ms. Sharon Lockaby if she is here. And we do ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification for the purposes of the plea. That's all for the state.
Thank you, Ms. Lockaby. If you're with us and you wish to address the court, now is your opportunity. Does not appear so. Mr. Dodd?
We stipulate, Judge, for purpose of the plea.
All right, Ms. Pop, it's my understanding that in case 24 CR 000735C, you wish to plead guilty to simple battery. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Ms. Pop. When you complete the terms of the probation, I'll have it go to a non-reporting status. So the sooner you get it done, the sooner you won't be on reporting probation and have to pay those fees, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you, Ms. Pop.
Next, we can go to position
I'm
number.
sorry, Judge, she has a quick question.
Okay, so do I get time served or I'm not understanding?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. It's a time served plea. So if you don't have anything else holding you, you'll get released as soon as you get processed out by the jail, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. Tell me again.
We can go to position number 17. Mr. Jamal Francis.
What are we doing with Mr. Francis today?
So that'll be a negotiable plea, Judge.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Francis. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, sir? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can place your hand down, Mr. Francis. Thank you. Ms. Falk?
Yes, Your Honor. On this, there are some modifications to the original negotiated plea based on my conversations with PD Haddad. So on count 1, we agreed to 12 months served, 260 days, credit for time served 130 days. That is from August 5th to August 28th of 2024 and September 4th, 2024 until today. Instead of balance probated, we have agreed to balance suspended. Stay away from the Ivana Woods Apartments located at 8520 Holcomb Ridge Road in Alpharetta. Count 2, the willful obstruction, the state has changed that recommendation to time served, which is the 260 days, credit for time served 130 days. And on count 3, that will remain the same, which is 12 months concurrent with count 2. The state would ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification for the purposes of the plea. That's all for the state. And I will add, Your Honor, the defendant is in custody on felony charges, so this will not release him.
Get that, Ms. Strong?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. Thank you. Mr. Dodd?
Your Honor, we stipulate and we ask the court to follow the negotiated plea, Judge.
Mr. Francis, it's my understanding that in case 24 CR 0054898, you wish to plead guilty to 2 counts of criminal trespass and willful obstruction of law enforcement officers. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Francis. Good luck to you, sir.
You too.
Thank you, Judge.
Welcome.
Let's have a seat in the chair.
This is number 50, Williams. Actually 50 and 51.
Okay, this is going to also be a negotiated plea.
That is correct, Judge.
All right, good morning, Ms. Williams. I'm Judge Eric Mora with, good morning, ma'am. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, ma'am? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Okay, thank you. You can place your hand down. Yes, Ms. Desiano.
Yes, Your Honor, state's recommendation is 12 months, served 30 days, credit for time served 15 days from March 18th to March 21st, 2023, and then December 7th, 2024 to today, balance suspended, and comply with any active MARTA suspensions. We'd ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and ID for purposes of the plea.
Stipulate, Judge.
And position 51 will be null pros upon entry of the plea.
Okay. Ms. Williams, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 001675J, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass. Is that correct?
Yes, correct, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
Sure, I am not.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir, I am.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
I do.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty? Okay, I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Ms. Williams. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Next, we have position number 6, Mr. Blocker.
Okay. What's the announcement on Mr. Blocker? What's the announcement, Mr. I'm sorry, Mr. White?
Judge, we were asked to hold for state's announcement.
Oh, okay. Ms. Falk?
State will be entering a null cross on this case, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Blocker, your case is being dismissed. I will sign that null cross order as soon as I get it. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah, you can have a seat. Let me double check real quick. Okay. Mr. Walker, you don't have.
Okay, anyone else that we can take in courtroom 2 or in ACDC?
We could go to 44, Mr. Bassell. You got a private attorney. You got a private attorney. That's what it's. No, you can wait. You can sit right there and wait.
I ain't got no private attorney.
Oh, I mean, we
So we're trying to figure, now we gotta figure it out. So you're gonna sit there and wait.
Oh, shit. I tell you, man, case me like he run. I'm a guy here. Y'all, they got me sitting on.
Okay, so this is Mr. Vassal. It's my understanding this is gonna be a negotiated plea, is that right?
It is, Judge.
Good morning, sir. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. You can place your hand down. Who's presenting for the state?
I am, Your Honor. State's recommendation for count one is time served 34 days, credit for time served 17 days. For count two, 12 months served 34 days, credit for time served 17 days from December 1st, 2024 to today, balance suspended. Stay away from 1020 Piedmont Avenue Northeast, which is the Azure apartment building. We'd ask the defense to stipulate to venue factual basis in ID.
You stipulate, Judge?
Mr. Vassal, it's my understanding that in case 24 CR 007893C, you wish to plead guilty to possession and use of drug-related objects and criminal trespass. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at the present time?
No, I'm not, Your Honor.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up that right to a trial by jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll accept the plea as negotiated, sir. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Position number 30, Scott.
Okay. This is also going to be a negotiated plea.
It is, Judge.
Friends, you know who you are attending?
Yes,
Which
good morning.
position did you say?
Position 30.
30.
You coming on?
30? Okay, thank you.
Okay. Good morning, Ms. Scott. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Say it again for me.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. You can place your hand down, Scott. Yes, Ms. Desiano.
Yes, Your Honor. State's recommendation is 12 months served 30 days, credit for time served 15 days from February 29th to March 2nd, 2024, and then December 6th, 2024 to today, balance suspended. Stay away from 750 Glenwood Avenue and no further contact with Kyle Rubis. Position 31 will be null pros upon entry of the plea. We'd ask the defense to stipulate to venue factual basis in ID. And if Your Honor can sound for Mr. Kyle Rubis, nothing further.
Mr. Rubis is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Yes, Mr. O'Donnell.
You stipulate, Judge.
Scott, it's my understanding that in case 24 CR 000967J, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Ms. Scott. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Next, we go to position 42, Mr. Taiwo.
And what are we doing with Mr. Taiwo this morning?
Honor, that is gonna be a negotiated plea.
Okay.
The recommendation has changed a little bit from the calendar, Judge.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Taiwo. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Sir.
Okay, thank you. You can place your hand down, sir. Yes, Ms. Desiano.
Yes, Your Honor. The state and defense have been negotiating, and the terms that we've agreed on are 12 months served, 32 days, credit for time served 16 days from December 2nd, 2024 to today, balance suspended, stay away from 620 Marietta Street. And we'd ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and ID for purposes of the plea.
We stipulate, Judge.
Hey, Mr. Tyler, it's my understanding that in case 24 CR 007916F, you wish to plead guilty to theft by taking. Is that correct?
No, no probation.
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at the present time?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Tyrell. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay. Appreciate you, bro.
Take care.
Next weekend.
Next judge, we have position number 28, Robbins.
Okay. Also a negotiated plea.
It is, Judge.
Okay. Good morning, Ms. Robbins. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, ma'am? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can place your hand down. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, Ms.
Good
Desiano.
morning.
Yes, Your Honor, state's recommendation for count 1 is 12 months probation to run concurrent with count 2. And count 2, 12 months served 30 days, balance probated, no further contact with Marquette Ball, stay away from Beauty and More, located at 3695 Cascade Road Southwest in South Fulton, complete an anti-theft course, pay a $500 fine, and no firearms. The defendant was cited on copies of these charges and never arrested, so it's our understanding she's not served any time on this case, Your Honor. And we'd ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and ID. And if you could sound for Ms. Marquette Ball.
Ms. Ball is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Yes, Mr. Haddad.
We stipulate, Judge.
Ms. Robbins, it's my understanding that in case 24 CR 007881F, you wish to plead guilty to simple assault and theft by shoplifting. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at the present time?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated. Ms. Robbins, when you complete the terms of the probation, I'll have it go to a non-reporting status. So the sooner you get it done, the sooner you won't be on reporting probation, okay?
Yes, sir. One question. I know I talked to my defense yesterday, and he said that he was gonna try to get the fine waived because I've been locked up for 93 days. I've been incarcerated for 93 days, and I lost my job that I was doing. So he said that yesterday he was gonna try to get the fine waiver because I'm not able to pay.
All right, so what I can do for you, Ms. Robbins, is if you want to do community service instead of having to pay a fine, I'm happy to let you do 50 hours of community service so that you don't have to pay that fine. Is that something you prefer to do?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we'll change the 50, Mr. Haddad, if that's okay with you, we'll change the $500 fine to 50 hours of community service.
That's fine, Judge.
All right, very good. Good
So
luck to
I
you,
get
Ms.
time served for that. I get time served for this case now.
You need to speak with her, Mr. Dodd.
No.
Your Honor, I apologize. I may have misread. I believe it's a time served sentence. Am I wrong?
She's never served any time on these particular charges. She was just cited after the shoplifting incident. So unless you have some documentation saying she was arrested, I reviewed what we have and I'm not seeing anything. And in addition, Your Honor, it is her third shoplifting, and the jail time is the mandatory minimum.
But I did go to jail. I went to jail in East Point. And I
Okay.
said, like,
Your Honor,
So according to the documents that we have, Your Honor, it says the defendant was cited on a copy of the charges, and there was some order for a first appearance in. Hold on, let me look before I speak.
Honor,
Because normally when I look at these bind over type cases, I try to see when they were arrested and when the bond order was entered in municipal court to figure out how many days they've been in jail. And in this case, there was no documentation, but let me double check.
Your Honor, while as Desiano looks that up, my client she has been in custody since September 10th, which will be 99 days. Now, the oddest in this listed case as a felony charge, she does have a hold with no bonds on a 23 SC case, so she's not technically getting out anyway on a time served sentence. But nonetheless, under the circumstances, Judge, I would just ask to commute that to time served. And I apologize. I looked at the calendar and I saw 93 days in custody. I just assumed that she's been in custody 93 days, and she has, but it appears that she's been in custody on a felony charge. You know, I don't know when she was served with the citation or why she doesn't get credit for that time since she's been in. And this is an old case. This is from a 9/18/23 incident date, Judge.
So, Your Honor, I'm looking at the citation and where it puts, it says jailed, and then it's crossed out, and it says something like refused to bring, something like that. Let's see. But in any event, you know, we certainly have no objection. She's entitled to have credit for time that she has served. I just don't have documentation to show what she has served.
Okay, well, if she's gonna get credit for time served, then we're gonna need to know what time she has served for the paperwork.
Right,
Yes,
Your
Your Honor,
Honor,
but the statutes.
and this
Go
is an
ahead.
issue that has come up before at the jail. The jail is going to give her the jail time they're showing that she served on this case. And right now, they're not showing she served jail time on this case. So what I don't want to do is set up a situation where we give her credit for time and the jail will not acknowledge that because she hasn't actually served any time according to their records.
Okay. And what were you saying, Mr. Dodd, about, thank you, Ms. Falk, Mr. Dodd, about the other charge that she's in on?
So, Your Honor, she is in custody as well. In addition, let me rephrase. She has two cases. She has this case, the misdemeanor case, and she also is in custody on 23 SC 187302, a felony charge, Judge, with a no bond status. And so she's does not have a court date on the felony charge yet, Judge, and I'm not sure you know, what's going on with that. I've reached out to our lawyer, and she does not know. Actually, she may be coming to court later this week, Judge, on the felony charge. But what I was trying to say, Judge, is that the misdemeanor charge that we're in is from a September 18th of 2023 case. My client has been in custody since September the 10th on the felony charge. And while I understand that she's not really spent any time on the misdemeanor, I mean, she's been in since that time on an older misdemeanor case. And I would just ask to commute it to time served. I mean, she's not really getting out anyway today because she still has that felony armed robbery charge, Judge.
Problem is, Mr. Dodd, is that if it's not listed that time served, then there's nothing for the paperwork and the jail's not going to,
Unless.
I need some.
Yes, Your Honor,
So-
the statute prohibits, it can't be commuted. The code section is 16.814. The mandatory minimum for this case is 30 days. She's served no time in this jail for this sentence. She has to be sentenced to 30 days. We can't
No,
negotiate any other
I
time
understand
outside of that.
I understand that, Mr. Etienne. I'm not trying to do that. What I was trying to do was trying to find out if there was actually some time served where that could be applied to this case. So, Mr. Dodd, either one or two things. I'm not sure when she's gonna get out on that other case, but if we reset, we can either do one thing. She's got 30 days to serve. She'll be out in 15 days on this charge. We can go forward with that, or we can reset her for an SAP calendar. The next one is not gonna be until the 3rd of January. So by that time, she would have made the 15 days.
Your Honor,
I don't
if I
know.
heard on one additional thing, the accusation was filed November 30th of 2024. So it's my contention that once an accusation is filed when somebody is in custody, the state is already aware where they are. So at the very least, she's entitled to credit from November 30th.
It's not, this isn't my role, Mr. Dodd. I mean, I would be happy to do that. It's the jail that's going to need to need that, you know, I would be happy to give her credit for that time served if the jail gave her credit for the time served, but I don't have any control over that.
And Your Honor, if we reset her case, she's still not being held at the jail on this particular case. So in full candor, when I saw the announcement that this was going to be a plea, I presumed it was because she's in jail on a no bond for a felony FTA. And by the time she gets to court on her felony FTA, she would have been able to complete her jail time for the shoplifting.
Okay, and that makes sense. So
I mean, my concern is if we put it off until January, we'll come back January, she still doesn't have credit for, I mean, she's gonna do another 30 days.
that's what Mr. Estiano's saying, so, you know, do
you want to talk to your client, perhaps, Mr. Haddad?
Ms. Robbins, the way that the plea is structured right now, if you were to take the plea, the countdown starts from today's date, so you got another 15 days to do.
So, but I thought you said yesterday I get time served.
That was my mistake because I just read it as you have been in custody on the misdemeanor charge. I mean, I'd be happy to talk to her on the phone, Judge. I mean, it's, you know, I mean, bottom line is it seems like she's just gonna serve another 15 days.
I would say like Lil got me up in East Point Jail, and I served like 5 days there. They literally got me up at East Point Jail. I went to East Point Jail, got booked in, got served, and they let me go within like 5 days. It was on a Wednesday actually when they had let me go.
Your Honor, I think the defendant is perhaps confused about which case we're talking about because the shoplifting case that we're talking about today was a South Fulton police incident,
Right. And they took
not
me
East
to
Point.
East Point Jail. They took me, I was housed at East Point Jail in Dorm A in East Point Jail when they took me to jail. It was like four South Fulton police cars came and got me from the beauty supply store on Cascade. And they took me to East Point Jail, and I was housed there for like 4 or 5 days until that Wednesday. And then that Wednesday, I went to court, and they had released me.
Hey, can I speak to Joanne real quick?
You're not on mute, Mr. White. Let's see.
Like they literally took me to jail to East Point. That was housed at East Point Jail. And then they let me go. It was on a Wednesday when they let me go.
Can we reset this until Thursday to give you all the, Mr. Haddad? Mr. Haddad?
Mr.
Yeah,
Haddad.
that's true, actually, that's true, okay.
He's on the phone.
Okay.
Donna, we'll, let me just,
Can we,
yeah,
can we reset this until Thursday to give you the opportunity to find out if she has done any time or what that time is?
that's fine, Judge.
Okay, I know I'll be resetting it for someone else, which I don't normally like to do, but since we have so many limited calendars going forward, I just don't want, I want to get this right as opposed to and give her the credit that she deserves on this.
All right, thank you, Judge.
Okay, so
Your Honor, and apparently South Fulton does take them to the East Point jail, so there's probably some proof of incarceration that can be documented from East Point.
right, and I want to give her that opportunity. So Ms. Robbins, we are going to reset your case until this Thursday to give Mr. Dodd the opportunity to do some additional research to make sure that we give you the appropriate amount of credit, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, so we'll see you back on Thursday.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
And if she does decide to take a plea on Thursday, Mr. Dodd, we had not completed this plea, so I won't be taking this plea today.
Understood.
You'll just have whoever the judge is on Thursday go through it with her again. Who do we have next?
Next, we can go to medical.
Number 7, Ms. Brandon Johnson.
And this is going to be a negotiated plea.
That's correct, Judge.
Yes, good morning, Ms. Brandon Johnson. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this, court to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right, you can place your hand down. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, Ms. Paul.
Yes, Your Honor. The state's recommendation is 12 months served, 40 days, credit for time served, 20 days from November 28th, 2024 to today, balance suspended. Stay away from the Emory Hospital located at 550 Peachtree Street in Atlanta unless for medical treatment. That's Emory Hospital in Midtown. The state asked the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification for the purposes of the plea.
We stipulate, Your Honor, nothing further.
Okay, Ms. Brandon Johnson, it's my understanding that in case 24 CR 007841B, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass, is that correct?
Yes, sir, I do.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
Oh, no, no. I attend meetings practically 5 days a week. I go 3 times a week anyway. I do make meetings every day. And I am church going. I do go to church.
Okay, just say yes or no for me.
Yes,
That's
sir, I
totally
do.
fine. Okay. You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, I do.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Well, I do it, because I had been the ambulance just take me up there. And
Okay, hold
Okay.
on. Hold on, Ms. Johnson. Just listen to my question, okay? And if you have a question about my question, you let me know. But
Yes, sir.
you have a right to a trial by jury on this case, and because you're pleading guilty to it, you're giving that right up. So you don't want a trial by jury. Is that right?
No, that's plead. I plead guilty.
Okay, I understand that, but you have to answer yes or no to the question that I'm asking you. And the question is, you don't want a trial by jury for this charge, do you?
If I can.
Miss Johnson, it's like we talked about yesterday. If you want to enter the guilty plea to time served, then you don't.
Oh, yeah, I do. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you don't need a trial. Is that
Yes,
correct?
sir. Yes,
Okay.
Right. Has anybody forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
Oh, no.
Okay, all right. I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Ms. Brandon Johnson. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you,
You're
Ron.
welcome. You're welcome. Okay, who do we have next?
Number 21, Jordan.
Okay. And this is gonna be a negotiated plea as well?
I hope so, Judge. Yes, it is.
All right. Hi, good morning, Miss Jordan. How are you? I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar. Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Okay, thank you, ma'am. Yes, Miss Fall.
And this is Trinan Jordan, Your Honor.
It is.
State's recommendation is 12 months served, 86 days, credit for time served, 43 days. That's from November 5th, 2024 to today. Balance suspended, stay away from 401 Cleveland Avenue in Atlanta. We do ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification for the purposes of this plea. And that's all for the state.
Mr. Dodd?
We stipulate, Judge.
Ms. Jordan. Ms. Jordan, it's my understanding that in case 24 CR 008054Y, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass, is that right? Okay, can courtroom 2, can you all mute for me, please? Thank you. You came back, thank you.
I do.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Jordan. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
I am not.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, please move on.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
Prisoners of war, no.
I will accept the plea as negotiated, Ms. Jordan. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next, we can go to position number 25, Mr. Perez. Hold on. Wheelchair. No. Perez here.
Okay, so who's representing Mr. Perez?
My attorney, I just spoke to, neither of us were informed that I had court today, sir, Your Honor.
Okay, so who is your attorney?
Justin Spiesman, sir.
Okay,
He was just here in person, and neither of us were aware of today's court date.
Ms. Strong, can we get, or Ms. Champion, can we get Mr. Spiesman on the line? Or see if we can get him on the line?
Yes, Your Honor, I'll reach out to him.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna see if I can get him on the line. Mr. Perez, if I can't, I'm gonna reset your case until Thursday. But I'd like to see if we can handle you today if possible, but if not, we'll reset you to Thursday. So I'll see if we can get Mr. Spiesman on the line, okay?
Appreciate that, Your Honor.
All right, so we'll be back to you. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
And for positions 34, Mr. Sims, is his attorney going to be with us today? Mr. Matthews?
I'll reach out to you while Ms. Champion is on the phone, trying to reach Mr. Spiesman.
Okay, thank you.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Ms. Rivers, is that who?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, yes, Ms. Rivers. What case are you here for today?
The DV case. I missed court on December 2nd, and they told me to go to the clerk office to reset it. So I did that to come today.
I don't have you on my DV calendar. Do we have an updated calendar on this? Are you aware of this, Ms. Desiano?
Your Honor, the only one that I'm aware of is a Joshua Freeman. Let me look at the Thursday calendar. She may have the wrong date.
Okay.
Yeah,
have
because she gave me
She's on the
the
calendar
paper.
she's on the calendar for today. She's on mine, so I'm not sure if I'm not sure, but I can send out the updated calendar.
Okay, I only have two on my calendar. I have a Joshua Freeman and an Alexander Wilson.
And yeah, on my calendar, Ms. Rivers is position number 2. I'll send it out.
The calendar I
Okay.
had had
We
Mr.
have a
Freeman.
Joshua Freeman, so
That's all
if
I
someone
have.
could send me the updated calendar.
I will.
Okay, so is anyone there in courtroom 2 with me?
Besides position number 45, and Mr. Haddad is currently talking to him.
Okay, all right, thank you. That's what I was gonna ask. All right. It's not
Well,
quite
it started
11.
out smoothly. We started strong.
We're still doing fine, Ms. Desiano. All right, so is Mr. Freeman on the line with me as of yet? I see. Counsel.
Good morning, Judge. Yes, he should be online. Freeman's here.
Okay, can you come on camera for me, Mr. Freeman?
Yes, sir. Give me just a moment.
And
I kind of gotta get be honest, I gotta get a rapper shirt.
okay. While he's doing that, is there an announcement on Mr. Webb?
Yes, Judge, we are ready for a plea.
Okay, let's go ahead and take that while Mr. Freeman gets ready for me. Can he come on up?
He is.
Good morning, Mr. Webb. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please? You swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can place your hand down. Thank you, sir. Yes, Ms. Desiano.
Yes, Your Honor, the state's recommendation for count 1 is we'll be not processing that. Count 2, 12 months concurrent with count 3, a $300 fine or 30 hours of community service. For count 3, 12 months served 32 days, credit for time served 16 days from December 2nd, 2024 to today. Balance probated, no further violent contact with Kiara Base. FVIP, 40 hours of community service, and no firearms. And we'd ask the defense to stipulate to venue factual basis and ID for purposes of the plea. If you could sound from his base, thank you.
Okay, if Kiara BASS is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity. Does not appear so. Mr. Haddad?
We stipulate for purposes of the plea, Judge, we ask the court to follow the state's recommendation.
Okay, Mr. Webb, it's my understanding that in case 24 CR 007915G, you wish to plead guilty to willful obstruction of law enforcement officers and simple assault, family violence. Is that correct?
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at the present time?
No.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Webb. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Excuse me, Judge. Was he doing the 30 hours of community service or the $300 fines?
You hear the question, Mr. Haddad?
Community service, Judge.
Okay, so it'll be 30 hours of community service.
Thank you.
Okay. Are you with us now, Mr. Freeman?
One more time, a lot of places. Who's that? He's a problem. He's not, might be representing the man. The UB eventual.
Mr. Freeman, I'm holding for you. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah, I'm here. I'm just trying to
Okay.
get the video to work.
Okay.
They keep saying, video unavailable, and I have like a exclamation and a triangle on my start my video.
Okay. Ms. Champion, are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Can we see if we can, I don't know if we can, if anything on your end that you can do? to
I
help Mr.
sent
Freeman?
him the notification to start video. He probably have to log out and log back in and
All right, I'm about to do that. I'll be right back.
Okay.
And Mr. Jordan is sending out the DV bench warrant calendar if you just give him a moment.
Okay, thank you. And Ms. Rivers is going to be on that calendar?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. Rivers, are you with me?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Do you have a private attorney representing you in this matter?
No, I do not.
Okay, so I'm going to get someone to speak with you so Mr. White, are you able to assist the court? You're on mute, Mr. White.
Sorry, Judge. She can either call me or we can do a breakout, whichever is
Oh.
easy.
Why don't we place you into a breakout room? I think that
Okay.
might be easier. Okay, so Ms. Rivers, I'll place you into a breakout room with Mr. White, who's a public defender. Okay?
No problem. Okay,
All right, thank you, ma'am.
no problem.
So Mr. Freeman, you're gonna have to get to a steady state for me, okay? All right, there you go. Yes, good morning, sir. This is the 11 o'clock DV bench warrant calendar. So let's see, Ms. Desiano, I take it that Mr. Freeman missed a court date?
Yes, Your Honor, he missed clean arraignment on December 4th, 2024. It doesn't appear that there's been an address change or any sort of returned mail. His address was updated in August to 255 Sage Hill Drive in Carrollton, Georgia. We can see that the defendant hired counsel after this, and they entered an appearance on the 10th, and on the 11th, this case was noticed for this calendar, Your Honor. So hopefully now that he has counsel, he will come to court.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Sally.
Yes, Judge, I think he essentially just got the court dates mixed up, but we are here and we'll be present at all the court appearances moving forward.
Okay. I normally give, if someone can mute themselves, I'm getting feedback. I normally give defendants one opportunity to miss a court date. This is his opportunity that he's using this time. If you will prepare a motion to set aside counsel, we will set aside the warrant on this one occasion. And we anticipate that he won't miss any additional court dates, okay? You are mute, counsel.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate it. I'll get that over to you shortly.
Okay, very good. And let's see, you can send that to Ms. Strong.
Thank you,
She'll give
Judge.
it to
Will
me.
do.
All right, Mr. Freeman. Good luck to you. and you'll make sure that you
Yes, sir.
don't miss your next court date, okay?
Got you, sir. I'll be
All
there.
Y'all have a
Thank
good
you,
rest of
Judge.
your day. You're
You
welcome.
too.
Okay, Ms. McLeod, do you have business before the court this morning?
My client, Jalen Rivers, Your Honor, I don't know if the court has dealt with her yet.
Oh, she told us that she didn't have counsel.
Yes, Your Honor, I can put Ms. McLeod in the breakout room with Mr. Rivers now.
Okay, I'm sorry, Mr. White, but I appreciate your help.
No worries.
Your Honor, I have an announcement while the court is waiting.
Okay.
Judge, on position number, I'm sorry. Sims, that would be position number 34 and 35. I'm not really sure why he was back on the calendar. So when I saw his character Matthews, Judge, I just left it like that. It turns out he is not represented by Mr. Matthews. He also was on a SAP calendar like a couple of months ago, and the plea was not guilty. I think Jay Kim entered the waiver. So I'm not really sure why he's back on the calendar, but in any event, we're just going to plead them not guilty again and just go back to the division, Judge.
Okay.
Position number 34 and 35. So, you know, that just want to make sure that these are going to be public defender cases.
All right. Let me see.
I'm sorry, I missed what the announcement was that he just made on 34 and 35.
It's a waiver. Apparently, he's been here before and is not represented by Mr. Matthews, so it's going to be returned to the division.
I think the waiver was already filed on both cases.
Okay. And let's see, is Mr. Alexander Wilson with us? And he's on the 11 o'clock calendar, so I think that the only person that is with us that we're waiting for is Ms. Rivers. And were we able to get up with Mr. Spiesman?
Your Honor, I left a voicemail and I sent an email and I have no response at this time.
Okay, if he doesn't come on before I complete the DV bench warrant calendar, then we're gonna reset that case until Thursday. Okay. All right, you ready, Ms. McLeod?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, very good. I take it that, are you ready, Ms. Desiano? I'm sorry. On the Rivers case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay,
Is this Rivers?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I take it she missed a court date?
Yes, Your Honor. She missed a jury trial calendar on December 2nd, 2024. It looks like there's some returned mail in the docket. However, it was returned mail from arraignment, but her arraignment was waived. So she didn't FTA the arraignment, obviously. And it looks like her address has been updated to 582 Roberts Drive, number 92, Riverdale, Georgia, 30274.
Okay, Ms. McLeod?
Yes, that is correct, Your Honor. She had a change of address and she had not changed it in the system and I didn't know about it. So that was how she missed. But I do have good contact information for her now and the new address.
Okay, so Ms. Rivers, anytime that you move, you're gonna have to make sure that that you update your address with the court and with Ms. McLeod, okay?
Yes, sir.
I will set this aside on this one occasion. If you miss court again, it won't be set aside on the next occasion, okay?
Understand.
Ms. McLeod, if you can prepare that set aside for the court and get it to Ms. Strong, get it signed and entered.
I will do that, Your Honor.
All
Thank
right,
you.
very
Thank
good.
you.
All right, Ms. Rivers, you have a good rest of your day, ma'am.
Same to you.
That concludes my business before the court. May I be excused?
Yes, thank you for being here, Ms. McLeod. I
You're
appreciate it.
welcome. Bye-bye.
Okay. Ms. Strong, whenever you're ready, I think that we can go over the calendar.
Position number 1 was a plea. Position number 2 was null pros. I don't have anything for 3 and 4.
Mr. White, what were we gonna do with Mr. Anderson?
Oh, I'm so,
Are we?
I'm sorry, Judge. I had muted because I was talking to Mr. Haddad. What was your question?
Positions 3 and 4, Mr. Anderson, were we gonna address him today?
It's gonna be a waiver. I'll file a waiver, not guilty.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Position number 5 is reset for December the 26th SAP calendar. Position number 6 was null pros. Position 7 and 8 were both pleas. Position number 9 was a plea. Position number 10 was null pros. Position 11 and 12 are reset for December the 26th SAP calendar. Also, position number 13 reset for December the 26th. 14 and 15 were plea. 16 was null pros. 17 and 18 were plea. 19 was a plea. 20 I have reset, but there were 2 dates on the calendar, the 26th or January the 3rd.
1, 2, or 1, 3, whichever that is, will be fine for Mr. Jordan.
January the 2nd.
I believe it's the 2nd.
Okay. Position 21 is a plea. Position 22. Position 22 was waived arraignment, reset jail jury. Also for position number 23 and 24, reset jail jury. Position number 25, are we still holding?
Let's reset that for Thursday.
Position number 26 was null pros. 27 was a plea. Position 28 is reset for Thursday's SAP calendar. 29 and 30 were a plea. 40 was null pros. I'm sorry, 31 was null pros. I apologize. 32 and 33, what date were we resetting for?
That would be 12/26 if we could, please.
'32 and 33 are reset for December the 26th SAP calendar. Position number 34 is waived arraignment, reset jail jury. 35 and 36 are also reset jail jury. 37 and 38 are reset for jail jury. 39 and 40 are reset for jail jury. 41 is a plea. 42 and 43 are also plea. 44 was a plea. 45 was a plea. 46 was, and 47 were released. 48 and 49 were released. 50 was a plea. 51 was null pros, and 52 was a plea.
Okay, any questions or concerns? Okay, if not, I think that completes both the calendars for today. You all have a happy holidays. I don't think I'll see you again until after Christmas, so.
You too, Judge.
Thank you. Same
I'm
to
sorry,
you.
Judge. What happened with the other bench warrant?
He didn't show, so it won't be set aside.
Okay, thank you.
All right. All right,
Happy
y'all take
holidays,
care.
everyone.
Bye.